I begin high up in the Sierra Nevadas. I slowly trickle down the mountain slopes. I take the path of least resistance, eventually flowing into the mighty Pacific. Throughout the seasons, I ebb and flow through droughts, rain, and snowmelt. I carve out gorges and canyons over the course of time. Granite walls are no match for me and give way to my power and grace year after year. I cascade over cliffs hundreds of feet above the valley floor. You can find me slowly meandering through meadows and providing eddies and cut banks for wild trout. Over 400 species rely on me to live, and without me, these species could not hope to survive. Millions of people travel across the globe every year to bask in my beauty and witness my elegance. I provide recreational opportunities unmatched by any other natural landscape in the world for these pilgrims, as well as provide a sparkling clean hydration oasis. Fishing, canoeing, rafting, sustainability. These are all part of my purpose. I am the waterfalls, rivers, streams, and lakes that flow throughout Yosemite National Park. However, I am not captive to the park boundaries. I like to move, never still, always flowing from place to place. I find myself channeled into irrigation systems, pumped through shower heads, and sprinkled onto green lawns. The many uses I represent are endless. I create and nourish life, both natural and man-made. I provide the life source for fruits and vegetables that are farmed in the valley. And I get to travel with these fruits all over the world. Chile, Paris, Rome are all places I get to visit. The healthier I am, the better the crops in the valley, the cleaner the drinking water you use. I travel freely throughout the park and am here to sustain the Yosemite Valley and San Joaquin Valley, but you must respect and conserve me so visitors years from now can enjoy the same majestic beauty I have provided to visitors for centuries. You can follow me from the tops of the mountains, through the rivers and streams, to the valley and into your sinks at home. The more you take care of me and conserve me in the park, the healthier I will be when I get to you. From dicey rapids to babbling brooks to still and meandering waters, I take on many forms throughout the park, cut through many different landscapes, and host a multitude of animal life. I enhance the natural beauty of the park and provide many opportunities for relaxation and reflection throughout the valley for all who visit. Shelton Johnson states that flowing water is the pulse of the earth. It's the pulse of Yosemite. It's literally a sign that Yosemite is alive. Water is the lifeblood of Yosemite National Park. Many visitors fall in love with the many waterfalls that are on display throughout the park. In the spring, Yosemite is home to countless waterfalls when the annual snowmelt occurs. Yosemite National Park is home to over 20 different waterfalls that all take on a life of their own at different times of the year. Some are only a few hundred feet high, and some tower over the valley as if pouring out from the heavens. One of the waterfalls that flows all year long is Bridal Veil Fall. This is usually the first waterfall visitors see when they enter Yosemite Valley. It is one of the most outstanding waterfalls in Yosemite Valley, and millions of visitors come to see its light wavering flow as it cascades down the rock wall. One of the main waterfalls in Yosemite National Park is Yosemite Falls. It is one of the most abundant and beautiful waterfalls the park has to offer, and it is the tallest waterfall in North America, measuring 2,425 feet high. Yosemite Falls is made up of 3 separate falls: the Upper Falls, Middle Cascades, and the Lower Falls. Yosemite Falls flows from November through July majestically down into the park valley below. One of the most historic, oldest trails of Yosemite Falls leads straight up to the top. Not only are you hiking up one of the most famous trails, you are also taking a trip back to the 1800s, as it was built between 1873 and 1877. As you are on this breathtaking trail, think about what it would have been like to create the trail itself. Powerful rivers have carved their way through the valley, and you can hear the roar of the rapids at many points in the park. You can see the whitewater foam as it makes its way down to the valley below. Vernal Falls stands at a mere 317 feet tall, but it is one of the most forceful waterfalls in Yosemite National Park. Vernal Falls is unique because you cannot see it from your car like Yosemite Falls or Bridal Falls. To see Vernal Falls, you must hike one of the many trails to see this glorious mystery. Vernal Falls at peak flow is best to see in late April. The waterfall runs throughout the year but stops in late August. It begins in narrow and separate into 2 to 3 falls as water flow decreases. One of the most famous hikes to Vernal Falls is Mist Trail, which also connects to Nevada Falls. The hike to Vernal Falls is approximately 3 miles round trip. It is impossible to hike Vernal Falls without taking a piece of it with you, but it's worth it. You are most likely to be drizzled upon by these 2 unforgettable waterfalls that ends with a dazzling view of the falls. Just be prepared because the difficulty is about a medium hike that can be slightly crowded and strenuous. But don't worry, there are bathrooms and snacks along the way. One of the first stops you'll make is at the footbridge, about 0.8 miles in. If you choose to keep going, at the top of Vernal Falls, you will see an astonishing view that you'll never want to take your eyes off of. As you continue down this trail, you will have ventured on another 1.5 miles of rocky, steep trail to reach Nevada Falls. Nevada Fall flows all year and can be also viewed at Glacier Point, which is only open from late May through November. As you hike to Nevada Falls, you will pass the amazing Emerald Pool. The Emerald Pool is part of the flowing river that is shaped into a natural bowl. It is not for swimming, just for admiring. This is a great place to look out, but just think about the top of Nevada Falls. The top of Nevada Falls is known to be peaceful and quiet. This is because it is a bit harder to get to, unlike Vernal Falls. Nevada Falls and Vernal Falls might have their own ups and downs, but they are both beautiful individually. When put together, they are simply magnificent. 4 million visitors flock to the park every year because of all of these magnificent waterfalls and the many ways water is used throughout the park. Yosemite is a moment frozen in time, as visitors are transported to the beauty first experienced by early explorers. However, if the snowfall is extremely low or we don't help conserve the water in the park, we can affect more than just Yosemite. With a bad water year, the falls would trickle, rivers would be low, agriculture in the valley would be scarce, exportation of food would be diminished, and the water supply for people would be extremely low. Water is part of our daily life, and it's our job to help conserve and protect it.